Hi, my name is Ferdinand Kjærulf and I'm the CEO and co-founder of CodersTrust. In this video, I'd like to introduce to you the CodersTrust funding profile, which I believe is going to be a very valuable tool in your path and journey to become a successful freelancer. So as you might already know, there are more than 100 different freelance portals to work from. These portals are being used by more than 5 million companies and they're posting more than 45,000 jobs every week. But it takes an investment in order to compete for these jobs. Of course, you need a computer, you need access to the internet, but you also need the right skills and you need to work hard on the first clients in order to get into more higher paid categories. And what you see in this graph is essentially that there's, like in any other business, there's a cost or an upfront investment before you actually start making more money that can then cover that investment. And it's not everyone that can just take off 6 months of their life or can afford the cost of education. And this is some of the core problems that we want to address with CodersTrust. And the problem if you need someone to help you with that investment, which it takes to be a successful freelancer, it's very hard for anyone else than yourself to trust an unknown person, which might be a stranger whom you never met, with an investment into something as liquid as an education. So once you invest into education, it's very hard to take it back. But what really enables people to invest in other people as a part of becoming a successful freelancers is to establish an online reputation. And the whole idea with CodersTrust is to take you from one profile where you might not be as highly rated and get you a highly rated freelancer profile so that you can earn more money. And you go through this journey by building up trust. And the core of that is to get rating and review. And it's essentially the rating and review that determines your success. So what I'd like to talk about in this video is how to build trust as an online freelancer and how to demonstrate trustworthiness as a freelancer with the repayment of an investment. So if we start out with the trust. So we know that the internet has been extremely successful in creating trust for web shops with something called Trustpilot. It's a way where customers can rate and review their shopping experiences with web shops. So in this way, web shops can signal that their customers have had a positive experience, and that enables them to bring trust for new customers. And we know this is working. We know that web shops that have a high reputation, that have a lot of rating and review, they get more jobs. The same thing with hotels. So you can more or less be driven out of business if you have a bad rating on TripAdvisor. Imagine that you have to go travel and you've never been to a particular place. You would like to hear other people's rating and review. And that's exactly where TripAdvisor comes in. The same thing with local businesses. Right now Yelp is mainly big in the US, but it's the exact same thing. If you don't have a positive rating and review on Yelp, it's very hard to succeed as a local business. And it's the exact same thing with online freelancers. You build trust with ratings and review. And this is why we created investcoderstrust.com. This is essentially a funding profile where you're able to attract investors that can invest into the early stage of your journey to become a successful freelancer and then repay with your future earning. The whole idea is for you to own and build your reputation. And if you can have all your profiles collected in one place, then you'll be able to not only own it, but you'll be able to share that profile with your future customers. And with that trust, the whole idea is of course to get more projects and to increase your earning. Very basically, if you have trust, if you have proven your track record, then you're able to ask for a higher salary. And I think the main question you have to ask yourself, if you can be trusted with an investment into your education, you can always be trusted with business critical tasks as a remote freelancer. Imagine a company sitting out there and they have a business critical task. Can they trust you? If they go in and look at your profile and you have positive rating reviews, that's good. But if you on top of that can show that you got an early investment into your education and that you're now repaying it, that signals that you're not only hardworking, but you could also be trusted with actual money that you're repaying. So here's an example of a profile with someone seeking to get funding. So the profile is very simple, slick Scandinavian look, very white, and of course it has the name and a short description, and of course a profile picture. And then it has different tags here where you can go look at the campaign detail, FAQ if there's any questions, and then here you can see a list of backers. So if you click here, you would go in and see that he's got funding from Morten Lund, Aziz Ahmed, Sajid Rahman, and Kayo Fibik. And he's raised $107 in 3 weeks out of a funding goal of $200. So what you need in order to create your funding profile is of course a profile picture and a workplace picture. The profile picture should be you've just seen a picture of you full front, same thing as a passport picture. And the best thing here is maybe to use your LinkedIn or a very good Facebook profile. The workplace picture is to demonstrate that you're a hard-working freelancer and that you're working from home or for some remote place. And then finally, you need your application video so that anyone looking at this funding site can see more in depth who you are and can create a connection to you. So a picture might say 1,000 things, but a video says a whole lot more. And with this video, you're able to present yourself, pitch yourself in a way where investors might find it interesting to invest in you on a personal level. So let's jump into how you actually create your funding profile. You go to this URL, invest.coderstrust.com login, and if you haven't been logging into this subdomain, you go on and create a new account, which is right here. Once you create a new account, you can just log in with that exact same login and password. So in order to start a campaign, you have to go to invest.coderstrust.com/start to start your own campaign. And the first step here is to create a campaign title. So the title here could be something catchy, the future me or the future successful freelancer, or whatever you think might be a catchy tagline. Then you get to a 5-step process where you have to add in information. So the first step is to put in some basic campaign material. The first is your featured image. This can be your workplace picture or it can be your profile picture. I recommend that you use your workplace picture for this one. Furthermore, you can add in your video. So if you have created a video as part of your application process, you can put in the YouTube URL here in this field. Furthermore, you'll have to create a small description of yourself where you pitch yourself similar to your application video. And you can put in more headline pictures in here. The most important is your workplace picture. So if you scroll down, there are different things that you have to fill out. So you have to put in that it's an all or nothing funding mode. You have to put your location, and then you have to choose a category. The funding goal should be $200, and it should start as early as possible, and it should be a 2-month period, which is you write down here in the funding duration. Then you click next, and then you get to the details. So you put in a description here, and here you can add link. So what you do here is that you add link to your different social profiles and your freelance profiles. So that would be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, freelancer.com, Upwork, Fiverr, etc., etc. And if you need to answer some questions, sometimes it can be nice to tell a little bit about yourself, why should you invest, etc. You can add these kind of FAQ here. And if you're very, very advanced, you can create a Google Analytics ID, and you can put that ID in here so that you can track who is actually visiting your website or this site or this page and funding you. This is if you want to do some funding yourself. Notice we will be taking care of attracting investors to this site. Once you're done, you press click, and then you get to the rewards section. So in the reward section, you can put in different rewards to potential contributors. So the idea is to raise the $200, but let's say you like to you're following the track of becoming a front-end developer, you could say that your investors, they will get a free landing page once you have graduated. In that way, you can actually give something specific to a potential investor. So you add that here. The next one is the basic profile page, and you upload your image and basic detail information. So that should be straightforward. Then finally, you review your campaign, and then down here you send it for review. And then we will be going through the process of reviewing it, and we will be comment on it and make sure that it lives up to our criteria. And once we think that it's good and it's ready, then we will be publish it in front of investors worldwide to attract funding to your profile. So that was a quick review of the way to create a funding profile for you as an upcoming freelancer. I wish you the best of luck, and once you've created your very own funding profile, it will be our task as a company, CodersTrust, to make sure that you will attract angel investors that are looking to invest into your freelance career. So with this, I will wish you all the best of luck to create a great profile, and I hope to see you very, very soon being successful. Thank you very much. Ciao.